What does the rabbit hole mean to you?
Oh, I love this one. Yeah, the rabbit hole. And that's just been a big thing for me personally. But just in terms of when you look at everything, you gotta. Okay, have you ever seen like a cartoon or something? They talking about breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing beyond the fourth wall that there's multiple. So it's just like, um, it's digging deep into what's unknown. Like even like the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much in the ocean that we cannot see, we cannot observe. So the rabbit hole for me is really digging in deep and digging up, going around bones and roots and just creating a path just to pop in and out. Like you popping in and out of dimensions. I love it.
Okay.
You either digging into something and have something, you pick up something you never thought of, just fall upon it and then expound your mind to a whole nother.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously the rabbit hole is a a reference from Alice in Wonderland, right? You know what I'm saying? She followed a white rabbit. A white rabbit was checking his clock. A white rabbit, who's one of the fastest animals, was late for something. And that already was like, hold up.
Red flag.
And so she followed them down the rabbit hole, and after that, it was everything was just followed what the fuck was going on with the rabbit. Rabbit was late because he had to make a meeting with a big-headed queen that cuts everyone else's heads off. Nothing made sense. You get what I'm saying? But it all made sense because if this can happen, that can happen.
Right.
And so
infinite possibilities, infinite universes, infinite understanding.
It's like Murphy's Law, but like the positive version. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. What can happen can happen. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So for me, you know what I'm saying? And then the deeper, you know what I'm saying, Shawty went into the rabbit hole. She got immersed into a whole fucking lifestyle. Everything was moving all on its own. You know what I'm saying? And no, right. But then when she woke up, it's like, was it real or was it fake? So it's like you said, it's another dimension. It's like a dream world. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But it's lucid dreaming. It's astral projection. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's traveling different planes of existence and just being an observer.
And also, I love the irony of the fact that she fell asleep while she was getting her lessons, so her stories. So it's just like also being connected to the physical form where you are, but like you said, astral planing and hearing these stories and learning the morals. She was walking through the morals herself. She was within herself in the story because she fell right back.
And the greatest thing about it is she's the constant between whatever the fuck we live in, whatever the fuck, and whatever the fuck other reality that she became privy to, and that's the great thing about the rabbit hole is because you can connect one thing to another thing, but it's all the same thing. It's all reality.
It's a stream of consciousness.
Right.
And that's the ego. That's your light is always gonna be that light, or like, you know when you put like water in a little experiment, string and sugar water or something, and you see the crystals, like that's just a drip down, like as the entity, that light, like it's individual parts that were placed in, but at the same time, the ego is the constant string.
Right.
That's the string of time.
Yeah, nah, so that's why, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to definitely name this podcast that, because everything has a connection. Everything is for a purpose, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
I was going to Thought of the Black Hole, not just like just from Alice in Wonderland, but also just like diving into knowledge and perspective and people and like opening up like opening up a wall, like you know what I'm saying, of what you're presenting with every day and stepping out of that wall and peeping around the corner and from that just falling in. And it was her curiosity. It's funny, she was listening to the Cheshire Cat the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? It's your curiosity, but also you can do whatever you want in your mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, the possibilities.
Right.
So it's just like taking that and imagine waking up from that and going into real life. Like,
how do you go back to real life?
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying, that's been my issue. You know, there was a time where we didn't have to care about much. We only had to care. We only had to, you know, live day to day. We didn't have to, you know, we didn't have responsibilities. We didn't, you know, we didn't really know what we was doing. But hey, we were released in the world and we were told we were adults. So whatever we wanted to do. And it's not until we start asking questions of, okay, so why the fuck are we here? What the fuck are we doing here? And we actually start looking at it and then we start finding the answers and we're like, oh, okay. So then we get into, well, why does my skin look different from everyone else's skin? Or why do I just think differently from everyone else when we're all able to access the same information? Okay, so, you know, and you just keep going down and down and down, and then once you start finding the answers to it and you start, hey, okay, so you mean to tell me I can manifest things that I think if I pray to the universe and I wish it hard enough? And okay, it won't happen immediately. It's not instantaneous gratification, but when it comes, you either gotta be prepared for it or you're not. And you mean to tell me that's true?
That's the parable through time. That's the parable through time. You look at any story. That's it. But also you gotta go through a journey where you can see what you asked for in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like every victor wants something. Like, you know, it starts out with somebody that wants something. You could take Mulan, I don't know, any religion, anything, and it's just like, I want this, I wish this would happen, or, you know, a thought. And then it just goes through this whole journey and then just seeing what's in front of you. Like, you have the eyes for it. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Like, even on Shrek. Like, you know what I mean? She didn't see it what it was, went through this journey and ended up being who she was, and boom. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like, parable through time.
Those were 3 interesting metaphors you just made there. You just compared. You said, okay, Shrek and Mulan. What was the third thing? It was like
Shrek, Mulan, and then I mean, I'll use an example from, I don't know, a parable maybe in the Bible.
Oh, you said religion, right?
Anything religion.
Oh,
that's the thing too. Like,
because
if you have the faith, it'll happen.
It's funny because, like, I mean, essentially,
you gotta be a test of your faith. Like,
essentially that you're saying is like all these parables, right? Because they're different stories. They all contain a deeper meaning behind them, but you just have to be accepting to what's being put out there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's essentially why I write music. That's essentially why I am a thinker. That's essentially why I am, you know, I give advice. Or, you know what I'm saying, I you know what I'm saying, really try to think deep about certain things, or got faster at thinking deeper and processing, because It's the same as how when you write something or you create something and you perform it out there and you don't know who's going through whatever they're going through, and it connects to them, it grabs them, and you know, you guys cry together, or y'all laugh together, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, seemingly we laugh and cry at the same thing, right? You just never know what your created, whatever you think, how that can help shape the world one person at a time.
Exactly.
And that's, you know what I'm saying, that's why it's imperative for us, like as humans, period, to want to see the best for everyone. But you know, you just have people out there with evil in their heart, and I mean, you know what I'm saying, hey, it has to be a balance everywhere. But you know, there has to exist a balance, but it seems like the evil of the world has just taken full advantage of everything good in the world and just saying, you know what, fuck it. Alright, well, how can we fuck this shit up more? And then do it. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, folks that subscribe to that way of thinking, it's like, man, how can we good people forgive them that easily?